Hello everybody, welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is session 142, and we are very late because of technical difficulties, because Streamlabs hates me, so we're just gonna go.
Let's go!
We can go!
Let's go!
Kicking things off with a little bit of a recap. Previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party returned to Azraq's hold after defeating the... Is this the wrong one? No, this is the right one. I take it back.
Roll it back.
Roll it back. Roll it back. It's the right one. I've had a tough past hour, so I apologize. Walking it back.
Walk it back.
Previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party returned to Azraq's hold after defeating the Sea Fury Olive Stillwater. Before an assembled audience, Azraq accepted the heads of the coven and told the story of a young war leader filled with his own pride who learned the hard way that the Legion is only strong when it works as a whole. The hag's defeat was then celebrated by the Legion, and the party once more hailed as heroes, but their once pristine reputation was now tarnished by those of the Legion that had fallen as a result of their negligence. Before they left, Lurkana visited the party to impress upon them that as members of the Legion, they needed to be forthcoming to her and Azraq about threats to the Legion, but just as importantly about threats to themselves. After all, if the party was a part of the Legion, then threats to the party were threats to the Legion. In passing, or adjacent to this conversation, Lurkana also mentioned a portal in the Southern Territories. The party had found this portal early on in their adventuring, but had not uncovered how to enter it, and then had forgotten about it. With this reminder, they were able to visit it, discover how to unlock, and then enter it, using the blessing of Preta Kripa. Entering the portal was risky. The party had no idea where it might lead, but the recent meetings with their benefactors had instilled at least some small sense of urgency within some of the members of the party. And they were, after all, adventurers. The unknown was a mighty big adventure. Within the silvery portal, the party found themselves bound by a familiar presence, the feminine voice that they had encountered several times before. The voice seemed somewhat in awe at the party's tenacity and growing strength, though also somewhat shocked by their continued willingness to face off against the Shadow, a foe that far outmatched them. The party tried to gain information on who the voice was, and finally, the voice told them that it couldn't tell them. It was prevented from sharing that information. But it could share with them a prophecy. The Mad Mage dances on the Shadow's 7 strings. A puppet can't help but move to its master's whims. The tear in the weave sends out its tendrils, trapping more to its will. Puppets of fang and fist, shadow and storm. The 7 are the key. Sever the 7 strings from the 8th before the 9 are reborn in shadow. With that, the strength of the voice waned. As the party was released, the voice warned them that she would not be able to protect them from the shadow this time. The party flowed through the magical corridors under the mountain, and as they did, Ezrah was attacked and bound by the shadow. Dark energy flooded into the sorcerer, and he began to see visions of a different place, different existence. Things that made, at first, no real sense to him, as if trying to teach an ant the structures of society. But as the moments passed, more and more of that place came to unfold before Ezrah, and he began to gain glimpses of understanding. At the moment, the storm crackling within his veins, Ezrah realized that in this case, knowledge, which he has always been seeking, true understanding would mean madness. He thought of his family past and present, and broke from the reverie of the visions. The shadow, realizing it had been thwarted, released him, and the mage followed his companions out of the portal and into an unknown building. With the threat of the shadow behind them and the threat of the unknown ahead of them, the party began to slowly explore this new location. They found many frescoes and carvings of elven figures and cities, a macabre ossuary, a strange room with a flower-headed staff, and a secret door leading them out into a large chamber where Bones was promptly attacked by Cresson, the Displacer Beast, and Willow, Archdruid of the Wood. The portal the party had taken had apparently led them into the Druid's tower. At first, Willow was affronted, but the party was able to assuage the Druid's annoyance relatively easily. In truth, it seemed she blamed herself more than them, and she seemed far, far more concerned that they had found the flower-headed staff than any other thing that they might have found within the tower. The party also related that the halfling, Finver Cleardew, was seeking adventurers to slay Valdemar, the green dragon that the sword Tiralai now possessed. After some brief pleasantries, the party left, heading for the Lost Levels. On their way, they were ambushed by Catsup's cavalry, but the conflict was deftly avoided at the last moment, and Bones applauded his tribe's hard work. The party made their way to the heart of the mountain within the Lost Levels, there to make plans for their future endeavors. And that is where we fade back into the scene. So you all have already made your trek back into the Lost Levels, past the barricade that guards the point between the Lost Levels and Willowwood. And yeah, you are all now within the nave of the heart of the mountain. So, go ahead and kick this up. Alright, so, you are surrounded by a couple of the goblins of the Skulltaker tribe, as well as Balrin, who is here.
Who I got?
Who is currently in the nave. You have Peppa, Oz, Greer, Groin, and Balrin. Big Beak is also here. With the majority of the rest of the goblins either out tending farms or patrolling or working the barricades.
Okay.
These appear to be prior versions of our characters.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because I only have 87 HP.
I have 62 of 90.
I have 87 of 87.
Huh. Okay, I'm
90 is
going
my
to
correct maximum.
do what I did here.
Hey,
Okay.
little me.
Yeah, but I just dragged that little you onto the map.
Oh.
Just
That
like
was
I
two
did,
of
and
me.
it auto-changed your other stats. Are anyone else's HP or AC values incorrect?
Mine's good.
Okay.
Let's see, I should have 78 of 100 right now.
Alright, apparently Matashtai just had some weird, like, cookies or something, I guess, going on with his token.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not-
It's fine.
Mine looks
But
correct.
I'm not auto-calculating my AC, so it's just whatever I type in there.
Yeah. No worries. Okay,
That cooks.
so, you all are within the nave of the heart of the mountain. You're in Skulltaker territory. You're in safety, right? Actually, you know what? Now's a pretty good time to go ahead and do this before we get too terribly involved in potentially something else. Bones.
What else? I'm not trying to get us into anything. Yes.
You, after
I've derailed this
arriving
enough.
within the nave, right? you set about doing whatever it is you think you need to be doing, right? Like discussing things with Groin or doing whatever. And you feel a pull from the heart of the mountain. You feel like a burgeoning power from the artifact.
Okay. I will tell them. Just a sec. I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna go. I'll go in there. I will see what's up.
Okay.
I gotta return some tapes.
All
Be right back.
right. So like as you so you feel that connection, right, between the heart of the mountain, i.e. like the physical artifact itself, and the actual central location of the heart.
I
of the
assume you were talking
mountain,
about to go in the big crystal room. Yeah.
Well, you feel it from the artifact version, and then you feel it right as you're approaching from the actual room itself, right?
Okay. I just made that assumption. Yeah.
As you kind of like head in there, right? Like the doors recognize you and part as the wielder of the heart of the mountain, and again you kind of see that spectral kind of like
King of the
glow.
North.
You see that spectral glow of like the possibilities, right? Like within the chamber. So every time you enter into the heart of the mountain, you have this kind of like scenario of like all of these different like workstations and things like that that are in spectral form.
It's like choose your tool.
So you see that, right? But you see something new, kind of.
I love new stuff.
Standing in the center of the room.
Okay.
And it is a vaguely humanoid shape and sized kind of like tube.
A tube?
Or maybe not like a tube. It
have a
looks
door?
kind of like a tube, but it's kind of like a concave like pillar. Right, like it's the size of like a person, right? Like someone could step into it, but it doesn't have like doors or anything like that, right? It's just this kind of like structure point that someone could stand within. But it too is also kind of spectral.
What is it? What does it do? I go investigate.
Okay. You go investigate, and like everything else, right, in its spectral
Think of
form,
it like a dwarf. I'm like,
Okay. Okay. Actually, yeah, sure. Thinking of it like a dwarf, what it looks like is it looks as if it is a place for you to put something, right? Like a place for you to
a person.
put well, like it's
A person.
it's sized for like a statue or something, right? Like it's what you would expect to see, right? Like if you were thinking of like Greco-Roman architecture or something like that. The space fills that kind of scenario. So you, from the dwarven kind of aspect, could believe this to be a place where you would like put a life-size statue. You could also just fit a person there, though, if that is what you were trying to do. But like everything else in this room, whenever you focus on it, right, like the heart of the mountain takes that as your intention, and the thing goes from being spectral to being solid in front of you. So now there is this kind of like concave pillar, which has this kind of like vaguely humanoid space in it, standing in the middle of the heart of the mountain.
Okay, so previously the heart has given me some idea how to do like a little bit of something. Like it makes me proficient with like everything.
Sure.
Do I know
more
how to use this or what to do with this?
You think about it and you feel like your instincts might be correct. This is for
Put a person in it?
person.
Matt,
What?
come here.
What?
Hey, get in this thing.
No.
Just rejection. No.
Alright, I'm gonna get in this thing. I get in the thing.
You get in the thing.
Sure, hope I don't instantly die.
You get in the thing, right? Like, so you're kind of like, you step up into it, and you kind of like lean your back up against the concave wall, and you feel yourself kind of like set against it, and nothing seems to happen. You roll me a
Dwarf check.
well, I'm gonna say a,
Yeah, roll a vibe check.
just roll me a d20 and add your proficiency modifier.
Wait. I rolled a 21. I'm a dwarf.
You stand there for a moment, and then it occurs to you, you're like, this place already responds to me. Why would I need to stand here?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I really hope he doesn't die. Hey, Groin! Groin!
Uh-oh.
Groin, come here!
Fucking die.
Groin comes walking in and is like, hey,
Hey.
yeah, boss, what's up?
Hey, Matt, come in here and charge up your holy fists.
Just in case.
Okay.
Just in case
All
shit
right.
goes
If,
poorly.
It's been
if you're gonna
really
make one of the
crazy
goblins go
happen.
in there, I'll just go in, and
No, I want
just
to see what
do
it. No, look. I think I've got an idea what it does. Hey,
That's gonna
Groin,
turned
get in
into a
this tube
fine
thing.
powder.
Okay, sure, boss. Groin kind of pushes past Matashtai. Do you
Oh my
let
God.
him?
Please don't
Do you-
atomize Groin.
Do you let him,
Please.
Matashtai? Are you letting the
Yeah,
goblin take it for the team on this one? Yeah.
I'll let him go, I guess.
All right.
I'm here for this.
Uh,
Oh, please.
Groin kind of like walks up onto the platform, leans back, right, and you see.
Please don't kill Groin. Please don't kill Groin. Okay. go
After
ahead.
about a moment, about a pause, a long kind of pause, right? The form of the pillar begins to slowly morph down, not in a threatening manner, a very slow, kind of cautious kind of way, morph down around Groin, not fully enveloping, just from like the back, right?
Okay.
And he kind of goes, oh, that feels kind of weird. It tickles. Oh, watch out. Woo! And then it kind of like stops. And Groin goes, I think it's done. Can I, do I step out now?
I think about it for a second. Yes.
As
He kind of like,
steps out, elven lied death.
he kind of
Bits and
like
pieces.
steps out, and you see behind him, right, it's like a mold was taken of his backside, right, of his half of his body, right?
Yeah.
And at first you're like, okay, well, what the fuck does that do? And then Groin says,
Well, I'm hoping it like authorizes him to use the fucking name.
boss, what's all this
Yeah, bud.
blue shit around the room?
Oh, jeez. I lost my headset.
That was pretty nice. That was a good reaction. Solid A++ reaction on that one.
I say, yeah, bud. I think I just authorized him to use the name. I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's not
okay. All right, bud.
Uh-huh.
Yo, think of what's something like a tool you want to use.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
thinking. You
does it do
watch
anything?
as over in the northwest corner of the room, this kind of weird blobby shape begins to take form, and you see it begins to kind of like shift through multiple different like structural integrities, and you're like, he's not focusing hard enough on one particular thing. So it keeps kind of like trying to morph and won't solidify into one aspect, right?
Okay, let's try it differently. Think of a carving bench. Think of that.
I mean, okay. Kind of like closes his eyes and he thinks for a moment. I don't know, boss. This feels kind of weird. I think I'm gonna sit down. And he sits down as a carving bench forms underneath him.
Under his butt?
Yeah, he sits down onto it, and there's like a little saw in front of him for him to like push things off of, and there's this little section off to the left where he can like sand and grind things down. So
all the shit's spectral?
No, when they think of
it
it and they focus on it, it solidifies into a real thing.
It just but I thought matter could not be created nor destroyed.
We're dwarves now.
Welcome to
He's
D&D,
a dwarf
bitch.
goblin.
That's equivalent exchange. Something's being given up somewhere.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dead people in another room.
Yes! All right, I let him know. Yes, now you can use the room just like I do to make stuff. The room provides. You just
That's
have to
pretty
think about
cool.
it. Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
All right. Okay. Can I do it with like anything?
As far as I know.
He gets up, and the carving area kind of like vanishes, right? And you see he closes his eyes again, and he starts thinking real hard. And that that blob in the northwest section of the room begins to kind of like reform, and this time it starts to take a distinctive shape. And it's a big, open-faced oven. With like a little countertop section off to the side and everything like that. And Groin all of a sudden is like, "Oh shit!" And he looks at you, "Boss, I'm gonna bake something."
Okay.
And he excitedly runs off. He runs out of the room, right? Because he doesn't have, like, it just makes the tools. It doesn't make the stuff necessarily, right?
Yeah.
He's got to go get shit to bake, basically.
I thought for sure it was going to be like a porta potty, so all right, that worked out well.
It's a porta potty. Oh, no, they just poop wherever. It doesn't matter.
Great.
Great.
I think we've discussed that there's a poop room already, actually.
I actually think there are some specific
Is there a
poop
latrine
pits.
on the floor? Like,
yeah, actually, there's
I believe there
you
is,
guys were
yeah.
you specifically, I think, were attacked in the poop room.
Oh, you were attacked in there.
Why
Yeah.
was it latrine?
Because you got super suspicious about there being something in the toilet, and everyone else left, and you got attacked.
You did do that. Yeah, I remember that.
I
Okay,
was just trying to make sure we cleared everything. And I got
Alright, well.
punished.
Punished.
Chief crafter authorized to use knave.
Okay, cool.
Access
That's
granted.
super cool.
You feel, right, like, you feel a more distinct connection to the heart now. Both this physical location, but also the artifact. You have grown in power, and the heart seems to recognize that you have grown in power.
Am I a double dwarf?
And no.
Oh.
But as you grow in power, you seem to be unlocking capabilities of the heart of the mountain.
Oh, that's real cool. That's real cool.
So, all right. And that's, whatever happens in the immediate aftermath of that is whatever. But, yeah, that's that. So, is there anything else happening while that's going on? Or is there anything else that you guys want to do here within the Lost levels?
I need to give them all the stuff that we
all
gave.
the shit, like the metric butt ton of stuff that you have.
Yeah, I have my list. I don't know if it had both mine and Mitch. Did you keep a list, or did I put everything on mine?
A list of like stuff for the
Stuff we bought for them.
Yeah, I think you.
5 fishing tackle, 50
but-
pounds of root vegetables, a salt block, various spices, a book on farming, a book on fighting, a book on fishing, a book on defensive structures, 16
Fs.
hammocks.
Defensive
Yeah, I
structure.
forgot about the hammocks.
Yeah. I also have a book on blank books for writing. Something that says trapping. That's probably defensive structures.
Yeah.
And then hammocks.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
blank
everything.
books as well. Did you note how many?
No.
Blank books for writing.
It was
Let's.
probably like 1 because I think they were expensive.
They are relatively expensive. Yeah, isn't a book like 50 gold or some shit? It's 25 gold for a book.
Yeah, I think it was probably 1 then.
My god. Holy shit. Okay. 1 blank book. So yeah, the goblins that are here, Greer especially, right, like is ecstatic about all the books, and everyone's very excited about the various supplies and things like that. Groin specifically is already like, ooh, let me have those spices, right? And is immediately going to try to make use of them. And you see as Groin kind of like begins to become more comfortable, just in a short stint here, like a 20-30 minute kind of like scenario, different kind of like kitchen-esque cooking style tools kind of like sprout up in that area, in that northwestern section, right? Not just an oven, you know, so yeah, that situation starts to unfold. And then there's just kind of like a general interest in the hammocks across the board.
Yeah, I figured.
Hell yeah.
I also let them know not to eat all of the root vegetables as I am negotiating for farmland.
Oh, okay, boss. Sounds good. Balrin actually kind of like takes interest in that.
And the root vegetables?
No, in the negotiation of farmland. He says, negotiating farmland, how? Where? What?
I'm friends with Willow.
The Archdruid of the Wood is going to allow you to farm her land.
Well, she's thinking on it. But, you know, all signs point to yes.
Wow. That's a boon. That's impressive.
Really?
You all come and go as you please, but the people, the factions that live down here, food is a big deal. The place isn't exactly easy to survive on.
Okay, yeah, I kind of guessed that.
In House Freth, a fair amount of what we consume is magically created for us to supplement what we can find.
Wait, someone knows create food and water?
It was
Already?
supposed... Where we were supposed to end up is not where we did end up. So this was not supposed to be a problem, but we've had to adapt to our environments.
Okay. Oh, hey, we met some more House Freth bros. Friends. People.
Balrin kind of
Not
narrows his
friends.
eyes. Interesting. Who?
He wouldn't give me his name.
Did you not get it at the end?
I'm pretty sure he gave it at the end.
At the very end, I thought.
Maybe I
Okay.
think he did.
I think I've got it in my notes. Hold on.
Okay, well, I didn't make notes.
For sure,
so
at the
if you have it-
very end, you guys, you didn't succeed enough to convince him to do what you wanted him to do, but
Yeah.
you succeeded enough to make him.
Dear Zana.
Yeah, you succeeded enough to make him
Oh, yeah.
tell you his name before he left. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. It was Dirzana. I think he's from the main family. I'm unclear on that.
Yeah,
House
Balrin's
Freth,
Balrin's
Saber.
eyes widen. And he kind of like says, a cadet branch, actually, but still part of the Freth line. Should how would he say? Kind of thing.
How would he say that?
How would he say it?
How would he say it?
I think he would say something along the line of, no, I forgot about this. I apologize. This is incorrect information. Walk it back again. 100%. Walk it back. This is incorrect information because I gave you the incorrect information to begin with. Dirzana is not a he. Dirzana is a she.
Oh.
She.
I thought it seemed like a lady name.
It did kind of, but I was just going with
it was a lady name. I just fucked up.
Most drow or most elf names are
right, a little ambiguous, like, right? Yeah, absolutely. But no, Dirzana is female, and that disconnect there made me forget the right information. But she is not a branch or a cadet family. She is from the main branch. So
yeah, I remember you telling me her sigil said she was from the main branch.
Balrin, his eyes will still widen, and he'll say, Irzana is the 6th daughter of Erelal, the Great Mother.
The grandmother?
The Great Mother.
The Great Mother.
Greatest mother.
Have you eaten today?
She earned her title because of her. She rebuilt her house.
Oh, okay.
From her womb.
That's very drow.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, well, we met her.
Queen bee situation.
Like, very much like a queen bee situation. To point of fact, like, I can't rely on these other fuckers. I'm just gonna give birth to people I can rely on, kind of situation.
She's the Beyonce of
like,
drow.
Honestly, kind of metal. Like,
I mean, Balrin trusts you guys, right? Like, Balrin is, he's not an especially open guy to begin with. But in this conversation, Bones, right? Like he'll chat with you. Erelal is a stalwart figure that saw House Freth was once upon a time on the edge of destruction. Erelal is the only reason why it has survived, and in the aftermath of the Rage of Demons, she led her family here. To start anew with the hopes of being away from the influence of other drow houses. But that hasn't exactly happened.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out.
If you will.
Okay, well, very neat. Well, yeah, we met her, and wasn't there one or two others with her? There's like 3 or 4 of them.
There were several drow that were there, but some of them were House Havrindar adjacent, and others were House Freth adjacent.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. No, we offered to let her come back here, for a little bit, but she wasn't interested.
She's stubborn and untrusting, so I'm not surprised.
Well, there were enough of them. They'll probably make it back.
Where'd you find them?
The Slither Swamp. Charmed by a spirit naga.
Kind of not 100%. How far down?
Not the next level, but the one after it.
Then I believe to get home, they would have to travel through Avrindar territory.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
So Avrindar is between Slither Swamp and Freth. So Freth is lower down than Avrindar? Or do you mean like Avrindar just has like an outpost or something?
Oh no. Avrindar commandeered the ancient temples of the Drow within Undermountain. They beat us to the punch. Where they now reside is where Erelal meant to take us.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, I mean, you said aren't you guys like kind of allied with them? Wasn't that why you were with Malith?
No, Balrin was a spy.
Oh, they didn't know he was Freth.
Yeah, they did not know he was Freth. Yeah.
Oh.
He was an out and out like plant. He was a mole.
Okay, well, I guess I really hope they're sneaky then. I don't know.
Yeah, the two houses, I mean, he'll describe it for you. The two houses are basically at war.
Ah, well, very good. Well, she seemed pretty confident. I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll catch up to her on Dwemer in Dwemer.
I will pray to Illustri.
Okay. Oh, you're not.
Okay.
You're not like a what was it? Lala spider person. You're not the spider person. You don't pray to the Spider Woman.
You're not a Lolfi?
House Freth does not follow the tenets of Lolth. And he says the name with kind of like a hesitance, like he doesn't want to say the name.
Like
That's
Voldemort.
Not quite like Voldemort, more like disgust. Like
Oh, okay.
like he there's a distaste to saying the name.
Gotcha. Well, if I find her, I'll try and help her. Maybe she'll trust. Is there anything you can tell me that will help her trust me?
Not particularly. I mean, did you mention that we were allies?
Loosely. She was being really cagey, so I was also kind of cagey, I'm gonna be honest.
As I said, she is untrusting and stubborn, and short of her mother or uncle being there, I don't know that you could make her trust anything that you said.
I don't think I told her Baldred's name, did I? I might have. I don't think she knew it.
Did.
I don't think she knew it. I think I said it, but she didn't know it.
Yeah. Well, I think
like
I think
that.
actually she did know it. It was just like he'd been gone for a while, so she wasn't sure whether or not it was something she could believe or not. Right?
Okay.
Because like he was a mole, right? And they hadn't heard from him in a while, so maybe that's just a name you tortured out of someone and then decided to use, you know?
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, how's everything going here?
You have interesting allies. Not unpleasant. I think I would prefer to be home, but if I never made it back, I could live here.
Okay, well, good to hear.
Damn. Your gobos are so good, someone's willing to live with them.
A drow, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're little badasses.
Are badass gobos.
They are little badasses.
All right,
Okay.
well, cool. I just kind of let it dwindle off into small talk then at that point.
Before it
Was not to
dwindles
walk
off into
off like
small
a
talk,
fucking autist.
I will say Balrin will like straight out and out ask you what your immediate plans are, right? Like Balrin, because Balrin's almost kind of like a risk kind of like scenario, is like he is interested in traveling with you if you're trying to get to House Freth, right? But otherwise, you know, it's like risk, right? Like if you're going to the Slither Swamp, then risk was down, but otherwise not so much, right? Like that type of stuff.
Well,
So he doesn't try to
gonna
pry,
go-
but he's like,
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to Dwemer.
it kind of like The Mage Academy?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the next level.
That's below the Slither Swamp.
7, 6, 7, 7 is giants, 8 is Slither Swamp, 9. Yes, it's the 9th level.
And I believe you may be close to Avrindar territory. Be careful.
Okay. Okay, well, they owe me a chest of gold, so...
I know you have fought them in the past. I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
What you have fought is a thimble
Oh no.
to the bucket of their might. Be
I mean,
careful.
there was that portal that
Do
Ezrah worked
not underestimate them. Do not. You seem to be doing a lot of good. Don't make it for nothing.
Gotcha. Don't die till we die. Give him a wink.
He seems confused and winks hesitantly back.
Yeah, so were we once. So were we once. Okay, well.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, do we want a long rest, or do we need to long rest, or you guys just... I assume we want to do some sort of rest before we head into super unknown territory.
You
It
guys
seems
took
like a pretty good area.
Yeah, this is a safe place. Like, you guys hold, there is no danger outside from, words. There's no dangers of, like, random encounters within the Lost levels. It is, it's like the Legion of Ezrah, right? Like, it is, Sanctuary. Other stuff can continue to happen, obviously, right? But there's not, like, the chance that you're gonna get, attacked by random oozes in the middle of the night.
Yeah, like if we're gonna rest before Drummercore, I think here's the place to do it.
Yeah, you guys
I
got
also think that.
kind of banged up in.
Pretty Creepa? By Pretty
Hey,
Creepa.
I'm okay with
Oh,
getting
is
my
that
hit
is
dice.
that all it was? Was Preta Creepa's
Yeah, we got fucked up by
blessing?
Preta Creepa.
Oh
Look,
goddamn!
I mean, I've got. If we rest, I will just barely get back on my hit dice. I'm kind of okay with that.
I will too, but I think I know Matt got somewhat punched. I don't know what spells Ezra is down from the hag fight.
Oh
I
yeah.
believe it's more than a few.
That makes sense.
So
Shall we take a day? Take a
if
day
you guys
off?
want to rest, I think this is the time to do it.
Yeah, let's take the day, rest up.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean that actually works because you guys did arrive here, kind of mid-afternoon type situation. So you guys could easily hang out for a little while and then wind down, and then kind of get back onto a regular schedule if you so chose.
Mhm.
Is that the plan?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
the plan.
Cool.
Make it so.
I am tired of carrying around a 60-pound skull, so I would like to go and break it down some.
Okay.
Yeah. I still. By the way, I still have this like claw that has like some kind of like weird portally water elemental
Oh.
stuff in it.
Right.
And it's chitinous, so that's bone adjacent, right?
Not metal.
You want to.
I don't know. I look in the claw.
Snaps close
you
on your
look
head.
in the claw.
Yeah, look in there.
You see like this little blue film, right? And as you get close, a quipper kind of like lunges out of the thing, and it makes it about like 3 or 4 inches out of this blue film before the water doesn't leave its body, and it kind of like slurps it back in.
That's pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna take that with
There
me.
is some
Slurp.
sort of like little elemental portal within this fucking crab claw, basically.
That's cool as
Hard to
hell.
picture.
Okay. I will keep that with me.
Okay.
I will add it to not my bag of holding. I don't want to put a portal in a portal.
It's relatively solid. It's like 10 pounds, by the way. The heads up.
How much
Okay.
did I say it was? Yeah, I put it in 10 pounds in my bag.
Nice.
All right, that is the
Portal.
Chesapeake Claw.
Chesapeake Claw.
Okay. Chesapeake.
As you
Claw.
guys are kind of like resting and communicating, the shifts of the various goblins change. Different goblins come and go. The Catsup's cavalry ends up coming back after a little while, conversing. Groin sets about cooking, right? Actually brings people in, sets up a little feast, right? Using some of the root vegetables, some of the fungus that they had already grown, some of the other odds and ends that they've kind of collected. This weird kind of like, he makes bread from this weird kind of like mushroom flour that they have ground down. And has kind of like this little grand old time of it. It's very, Groin is having a hell of a time of it. And the Skull Takers are kind of like feeding off the energy, as the goblins are wont to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost kind of like close to the air of a celebration, right?
Mm.
While goblins are coming and going, actually, Thresher comes up to Ashes. Ashes, you see this goblin, right? Who is pretty well worn, right? Like, obviously, not. I mean, there's very, very few prim and proper goblins, but there are goblins that are like obviously had to do a lot more manual labor than other goblins did, right? Like, type of scenario. And Thresher definitely falls into that situation.
We'll greet him in Goblin.
Thresher.
Know that language.
Nice. Right?
Hey, we speak
I don't-
English here. We speak Common here. Or Terran, but mostly Common.
I'd say something rude about Bones and Goblin, knowing he can't understand it, and I will not say it out loud because then he would understand it.
Oh, that's funny. Bones actually doesn't know Goblin. I didn't think about that. Wow.
No, I don't.
Wow. Cool.
Goblins are a little bit disappointed in their god, but they
just
still-
a little bit.
I guarantee you they
Just a
shoot
tad.
Ash's dirty ass looks.
Nope. Like, they're perfectly happy to converse in their native tongue. Very, very
I'm
pleased.
talking about when he insults me.
Oh, well,
care
maybe a
about
little
speaking
bit,
Goblin.
I
right?
didn't know that.
Thresher.
I don't know.
Thresher approaches you, Ashes, because you find all of the goblins do this. It's not just Pibble and Groin to Bones. All of the goblins, every time any one of them walks up to any of y'all, they walk up with the hey boss, right? Kind of like comment, right? So Thresher walks up to you and hey boss, and says, basically begins to ask you about alchemy, and that he's kind of taken over the mushroom farm here, and has been thinking, right, like with the mushroom farm and with maybe a little bit of permitted foraging in the Willowwood, he might be able to start making some stuff for the Skull Takers. And he's kind of seeking you out for instruction.
Oh, okay. Well,
Or guidance, or spare tools, or things like that.
shit. All right. Now that I know you're interested, hold on. I gotta look this up now. Where is brewing and storage? Okay, so back up top. I don't have this with me, but I do have an alchemy station that has 3 brewing like areas that like I've got this like one that lets me brew on the go, so I wasn't able to do this. Big, clunky, and not very mobile, so I can absolutely bring that down here and maybe get you started on some stuff.
Oh, that's
and-
cool.
But yeah. Now that I know that, I will make note of that and bring it down here.
You'll like teach me how to use it?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, as far as like basic brewery goes, you're gonna have to boil it. Usually, solutions require boiling once a day,
Okay.
stirring, making sure it's good incorporated.
See, he pulls out a little wooden tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got he doesn't have anything to write with. He has like a little pocket knife, and he's kind of like etching on notes onto this little wooden tablet.
The basis of most potions is just water. So
boiling water. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And there's definitely some herbs that you can pick up that'll help. You're probably not going to have access to them here
Use
in the
all
ground,
herbs, okay?
Wild sage root is really good. It's the most common ingredient found among like doctors and healers, and the base of like healing potions. There's ginkgo brush, milkweed seeds, lavender sprigs. Any of these
are you just throwing things out there, or are you actually reading off a list?
Actually, in my notes, I have as things with descriptions of what they do that I've never been able to use until just now.
Nice. Very nice. That's awesome, actually.
No one's ever asked me about how I brew potions, but I had it all in notes.
Thresher listens rapturously, right? Like Thresher tries to take notes as best as he can. And I mean, you know, right, like in the situation that you're probably gonna have to explain all of this again. It's not super useful until, you know, there's actually something to be making things on. But what Thresher does say, right, like is one, he recognizes at least one or two of the herbs or plants that you described to him, right? And he takes notes, right? And he says he'll talk with Oz, because Oz visits Willow a bunch, and he'll see if Oz can get Willow to let the two of them go try to find some of these plants, right? And maybe he can kind of like pre-game and get some of the ingredients, so that when you show back up eventually with the alchemy stuff, he'll have some stuff to actually kind of like utilize, basically.
Okay, all right. Also, we're gonna need mortar and pestle. A lot of the stuff needs to be ground up. So if we don't have, of course, I guess you could just use rocks.
They got that stuff. They got that type of stuff.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So next time I come down here,
that's what they use to turn the mushrooms into mushroom flour. Actually, is they dry out the mushrooms and then they grind them in mortars and pestles.
Yeah, mushroom paste.
Next time I come down, I'll bring the station, as well as show you how to at least brew potion of healing. That'll at least get you started.
Like, okay. But Thresher's odd, right? Like, Thresher doesn't have a whole lot of enthusiasm, right? Like, Thresher doesn't get as excited as all of the other goblins do necessarily. But he seems sincere. And when you kind of like mention healing potions, he kind of is like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I was also just thinking about, like, you know, potion for, curing a fever and fixing a tummy ache, and, you know, like
non-magical potions.
Potion for, like, getting rid of warts, or, you know, growing more warts. You know, because I mean, sometimes you want a wart in a place and you don't want a wart in another place. Potions of growth, like growth. Yeah, that's what he means.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's what he means.
So aside from non-magical potions, I can teach him how to create a potion that creates a puff of thick smoke, identify a poison, identify a substance. I don't know how that's different than poison, because poison is clearly also a substance. Start a fire and neutralize an acid. This is also I can teach him how to make soap.
Yep.
We can get these goblins clean.
It'll make them worse.
They are absolutely going to make explosives somehow
Yeah.
from that soap.
And a lot of the other stuff, right? Like the
apparently not that hard.
more medical stuff, you could probably actually pick up from the Guild of Apothecaries relatively easily, right? So
of acid, alchemist fire, antitoxins,
Yep.
oil, perfume, soap.
all right, cool. So that's that. Other things that people are wanting to do. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there.
I want to break down the Queen of Bones skull. In the
Okay.
heart.
Well, so you guys are definitely going to get a activity period, right? So you can definitely be doing that. Was there any like dialogue or conversations or things like that that people wanted to do before we kind of moved into other stuff? Yay, nay, maybe?
I don't think I have anything.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
good.
Double cool. Nothing for you, Jake? Oh, good. Okay.
Hey, where's Pib?
Pentacool.
Say what?
Where's Pibble?
He comes and goes, right? Like, right now, when you guys showed up, he's at the southeastern exit guarding that barricade. But he, like I said, they all kind of like cycle out over the course of the hours to come.
Damn, Pibble's my fucking crafter. I done confused Pibble and Groin. Shit.
Yeah, Pibble is more of the creative. Groin is more of the practical kind of like leader style scenario.
Well, they're co-chiefs. Let's see if I can authorize him too.
Okay. As soon as you authorize Pibble, all of Groin's cooking station area begins to kind of like fade, and Groin's like, oh no, my souffle!
Oh,
Damn, you messed up his souffle, dude.
no, it's fine. I concentrate on the cooking station real fast.
Okay, you're able to keep Groin's stuff up long enough for Groin to finish things off, right? Now that Pibble has been assigned instead. You've grown more powerful, and with that power, the heart is reacting, but it's only giving you kind of like one steward right now, basically.
Yeah. My bad about that, Groin. Forgot. Well, I actually didn't know, but both.
But now you know.
All right. Well, I thought Pibble was Groin. I really want Pibble authorized here.
Okay. Pibble is now. Okay.
Pibs.
Sounds
Mr.
like a plan.
Pibb. Yeah, Mr. Pibb.
At this point, I think it is a scenario where you guys are going to rest. There's a little celebration because you're here, so the Skull Takers kind of like gather and have a little feast and everything before continuing on about their business. You guys are free to make conversation with anyone or seek out anyone that you would like. Otherwise, we will go into rest activities. And whoever wants to go first with a rest activity can go first with a rest activity.
What else go? I gotta review my talismans.
Currently don't have any mats to brew, so I pass.
You literally just came from the surface and you bought no mats?
I bought mats.
Oh, you don't have any special ingredients to make things.
Yeah, I have
Gotcha.
your basic components, but I don't have like a catalyst.
I got a bunch of random poisons. You want some of that?
I mean, I can make.
I know what I'm working on now.
Of acid without.
So Ashes, you're gonna pass.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm good.
Okay, sounds good.
What else I got? I got some antlers.
I will say
Is that
this:
helpful?
if rather than passing, what you would like to do is take this rest period as a tutorial period for Thresher, you could do that. Just kind of like showing Thresher around on your gear, basically. Not using anything, but just kind of like showing what you would do with base kind of concepts.
Yeah. Actually, that's really cool. I like that idea. I will show
of
him
gelatin
on
didn't
my
ooze.
stuff how to make antitoxins,
Now
And
it's unlikely Thresher's gonna get to the point to where he can do anything on his own yet, but this is like one of those training sessions that he would need.
fundamentals.
Exactly, right? So like you're working towards that point. Okay.
He says, "That's right. This is a vial."
Like,
Damn.
don't smash this.
It's
That's
made of
bad.
This is a stopper.
Bodis,
The
Bodis.
stopper goes
It
in the
stopped.
circle hole.
Okay, who's up next? What do they got?
I'll go next. So I'm just gonna work on a talisman of opportunity.
Ooh, what's a talisman of opportunity?
That's the advantage one.
Oh, okay. Cool. Who's up next?
I would like to do two things.
Okay.
One is very short. I would like to first evaluate the Chesapeake Claw.
Okay. Chesapeake Claw seems to have... I mean, it's got a fucking portal inside of it, so it's obviously got some sort of inherent magical quality.
Indeed.
It is a large crab claw-esque kind of scenario.
Place.
The portal is in the upper surface, or in the upper concave portion of the claw, right?
Yeah.
The claw itself is big enough to have grabbed
It's a
any
big
of
claw.
you and held you, right, like fast. So it's
Okay.
large. Not the actual like D&D size designation large, but it's like big enough to wrap around you, basically.
Big enough to wrap around medium creature. Okay, very good. Okay. And then I would like to break down the Queen of Bone Skull into various parts that weigh less than 60 pounds.
Okay, sorry, say what on that last part? I was reading a text from Jade.
I would like to break down the Queen of Bone Skull into various parts that weigh less than 60 pounds.
Okay. How so? Like what design scheme are you looking for here?
I assume it's got some mandible.
Yeah, so
like
it's got
jaw.
it's kind of got the kind of predator thing where
Yeah, that's
the
what I thought.
lower
I wanna
half is not connected in the center.
Get those
so
suckers
kinda
off of there.
Okay, so
I
those
figure
are
that's what-
big, kind of like all slightly curved, kind of like
Like clubs.
serrated, kind of like almost kind of like shark jaws type of
clubbing.
scenario.
All right. Well,
So you got two of those. Easy enough. It's the rest of it that's going to be a bit of a problem because the rest of it's kind of pretty solid. It's kind of like a solid dome. So you're skilled enough to be able to saw it into different chunks. It's just when you start going, it's pretty much you're going to have to be precise on what portions you want it to be.
Yeah.
Do you have a note for how much the whole thing weighs?
60 pounds.
Okay, so each of those lower bits is probably like 5 pounds a piece. So it's
Man,
still
that
got
only
another
takes off
50
10
pounds. Huh? Yeah, that takes off like 10
Yeah,
pounds.
bitch.
So the whole, like the upper head is this big 50-pound mass, right? It's a big chunker.
Okay.
And
Let's
it's
see.
weird. It's vaguely kind of like... I mean, it's mostly snake-shaped, right? But it's way flatter in the face than a snake's should be, right?
It's fine. I've decided what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna remove those mandibles, right? Then it's like 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
cool.
and it doesn't look like they would move independently necessarily, but it doesn't matter at this point because
I
they're
don't care
removed
about that.
entirely. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna saw it directly in half lengthwise.
Okay, gotcha. Easy enough to do. You basically get out a bandsaw in the fucking heart of the mountain and just down the center.
That's right.
You need like a couple of goblins on either side to like guide it down the fucking center and make sure it doesn't just like fire off, you know?
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah,
Big.
it's fucking big. But yeah, okay.
Okay, but
You're able to
now
saw
it's
it just down
small
the center.
enough to where I can get chunks of it in the bag of holding.
The two mandibles very easily. The two halves. Yeah. I will say it's like a tight fit, right? Like as you're at the widest part, as you're kind of like pushing it down into the bag of holding, because the bag is like a 5-foot mouth, right? So like as you're kind of like pushing that in, it touches either side, right? Yeah, like 5 foot is massive, right? But like I'm saying from like the size of the head, because the head was large, right? So cutting it in half, you're basically like, yep, I'm squeezing it in there, right? Like type situation.
Okay. So now I will break that down. 1/2 Queen of Bones skull. 25 pound.
I'm sorry, I actually just looked this up. It's not 5 feet in diameter at the mouth, so I take it back. It's 2 feet in diameter at the mouth, and these things, even split in half down the center, are not fitting into 2 feet.
Okay, let me.
Sorry, Zach. I apologize.
I can't believe you've done this.
So that if your goal is to get it into the bag of holding, you're gonna have to cut these basically again down the middle for them to fit, which is gonna be kind of weird.
Well, I don't know what I want to do with it yet.
Yeah, and obviously, right, like Bones seeing this, right, like Bones can see all of these measurements, so like we can reverse back up the chain if we need to on any particular thing. The Skull Takers are just like, boss, why are you gonna cut this up? Just mount it on the wall. It's so cool.
It is so cool, but I need it.
I mean, okay.
I have a mighty need.
Probably need it. Hey Jay, how much carrying capacity do you have open currently?
What? I don't know what determines carry capacity. It's strength
times 15.
Times 15. My strength is 20.
That's what, 300 pounds?
Carrying 175 pounds, 176 pounds.
Can you take 1/2 of this Queen of Bones skull?
How much is it?
25 pounds.
How many?
25 pounds.
Yeah, I could probably put.
Are you willing to carry 1/2 of the Queen of Bones skull for me?
Yes. Well, all right. So, have you actually committed to cutting it in half yet?
Hold on, Jim is making signals.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Even if you're just carrying this around, right? Like even half of it, it'd be like carrying a small canoe on your back, basically. Like that's what you'd be walking around doing. Is like, can you carry the weight? Absolutely, but you're carrying a small canoe on your back, basically.
I don't. I'm less happy about that.
Like,
hey, what the fuck is she? Was a bone naga? Let me get a view on what I'm working with here. Yeah, it's pretty fucking big.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's just kind of fucking big. Oh. Your idea of splitting it kind of like down the middle is not a bad idea. I think actually, in fairness, looking at this picture, my weight measurements are probably off. It's probably closer to each of the mandibles being 10 pounds and then the top half being 30 pounds or 40 pounds rather, right? That's because it was 60 pounds total, right?
Yes. Let me see if that works for me to not have to split it.
So then it would be 20 pounds with the mandibles and 40 pounds with the actual head itself.
I still can't carry it all if I don't split it. I can't carry 40 pounds extra.
Fair. You could...
I could move 11 rations into my bag of holding, though.
I think that works. it's also dependent on what you want to do with the skull, right? So like the end goal of crafting the skull is kind of like this situation of I don't know what your plan is necessarily, or I don't know if you actually have a plan yet. So
I don't have one.
So you might want to consider coming up with a plan before you commit to. Well, I say that, but like in technicality, I think Ezra, don't you have mending? Haven't you done mending before?
This is getting close to too big for mending, but yes, I have it.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I don't think you could mend the whole thing in a single go, but doesn't mending let you do, like, little sections piece by piece? Oh, no, mending has a maximum, doesn't it? Mending has, like, yeah. No larger than...
No longer than a foot in any
Oh, well, that's
direction.
the thing.
Well, it's
The
already bigger
break
than
or
that.
tear... yeah, see, that's kind of like a weird situation, right? Like, can you do a foot at a time? Or, you know, like, if you have, like, a 3-foot cloak and it's torn in half, can you do a foot at a time mending it back up, or does that not count? Like,
You're the one that gets to make that call.
that's a questionable statement. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So I'm sorry, Zach. That's difficult. I apologize. I'm gonna let you mull over that. Let's move on to Ezra while
Yeah.
Zach's thinking about things. Ezra, what are
Yeah.
you doing for the evening?
Going to pull out the tome and investigate.
He's checking the book. Investigation.
I'll
Investigation.
use a Sork point to re-roll that
Huh?
for a 15. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Investigation. One is investigation. Yeah. Let me check my session plan, which is where I keep. You have already done an investigation.
I've done several, yes.
And fail. Well, your most recent thing was a failure on an investigation, which means
Correct.
each time you build towards it, you reduce the DC, which is why I keep track. Unfortunately, you're just going to be further reducing the DC this time around. The gibberish that covers the pages of this tome, you do not crack the cipher to them this time around. You do not find any more clues or anything like that. But I mean, each time you're not sure if you feel yourself getting a little more mad or a little less. Who knows, right? But sometimes this book makes sense. This case is, or this particular instance, not one of those cases. So you now have 2 failures towards investigation. So further reducing the C. Okay. Zach, any ideas? You could always just leave the skull here if you're not sure on what you're wanting to do.
How big are the eye holes?
Big enough to put arms and legs through.
How big are the nose holes?
Well, I think it's more of like a nose cavity. I think is relatively big.
What are you laughing about, Mitch?
Nothing.
I don't even know if I should be laughing. I have no idea what he's trying to do.
Smaller. Closer to like maybe like wrist size, basically. Wrist or foot size. Like arm size is like upper arm or thigh, right? Is the eyes. You could fit something like an upper arm or a thigh into the eyes, whereas the nose you could fit like a wrist into.
He's sizing up some Monster Hunter armor.
Kinda.
I mean, pretty realistically, like when Bones looks at this, you could make a breastplate out of this, or something akin to a chest piece, or something like that, out of this bone armor. You'd have to like shave off a lot of dead weight, basically.
Like Katarina armor.
But it could definitely be done.
I don't want that though.
Okay.
I can't wear it.
That's fair.
I know what I want, but I am having problems figuring out how to accomplish it.
What do you want? Tell me help me help you.
I want wheat goggles.
Goggles? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. You don't really, if that's the case, you don't really care about the skull that much. You care about the eye ridges and the eye sockets themselves. So you care about like taking those out with enough space on either side to basically grind them down, make a fitting that creates them into goggles, and then you need to set something into the actual eyes themselves, like some sort of glass or clear crystal or something like that to actually be able to see through.
Yeah, but you said the fucking arms they're fucking arm sized. That would be like one would be my whole face. It'd be like this.
I guess that's fair. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I guess I did just make goggles for a giant, eh?
That's right. I could have a spelunky helmet like Matt.
You could have a spelunky helmet
We
like
get
Matt.
spelunk.
Otis Bobotis.
Ready to spelunk?
I guess I could make who's the nerd on Naruto? The nerd who lost his eye? Obito goggles.
Okay.
Obito.
So like goggles like this instead, rather than like
Yeah.
goggles like this.
Yeah, instead of being cool, I could be a nerd.
Technically, you could make two pairs if that was the case.
True. All right, that's what I
Or
did.
not two pairs, but a pair.
Yeah. Well, technically, it would be two pairs.
Sure.
Okay, that's what I do.
So you're gonna
That's how I break it down.
okay. Sure.
I'm interested in the sensory organ part.
The sensory organ part. The goblins will kind of like compete with each other over the scraps, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
To try to be like, oh, we're gonna make something with like whatever's left over. But if all you're doing is kind of like breaking it down into parts, you can easily do that today. So
Okay, I
go
do
ahead and
that.
mark that as done.
Can I count this as like workday one of this
Yeah,
item?
this is workday one of the item because that's part of the work is breaking the items down and forming it into the actual base concepts of what you want it. Absolutely.
Okay. So it's actually 2 days then, since I'm in
Yep.
the key thing. And I'm a master here. Master.
Okay, cool.
Master. Very rare
Fantabulous.
item.
I need everyone
the-
to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Come on,
But we're
fuck
in the
you.
dungeon.
Yeah, that's why.
We can't be compelled to enter the dungeon. We're in it.
A wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
Right. 5.
Uh-oh.
Is what it is. How much does this new thing weigh, Jeremy?
Um.
And can I get it in my bag of holding?
Oh yeah, easily goes in the bag of holding.
Thank Jesus, Lord.
Let's say 2 pounds per eye orbital socket scenario. So
Okay.
4 pounds total if you've got both of them.
I specifically give Pibble the Queen of Bones mandibles.
Nice. Okay. Bibble gets Queen of Bone mandibles. But
Yeah.
Bibble will be like, "Do you want me to do anything specific with these, boss, or just have fun?"
Yeah, man. Let your inspiration carry you.
I need. Oh my. Okay. And burns. Yeah. Actually fine there. Alright, cool. I need everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
No, Jeremy. Why would you do this to me?
The things
And I have
stack
advantage
up.
because I am me.
If you have advantage on Constitution saving throws, then you have advantage on Constitution saving throws.
I do, as long as I have one token.
Then you are Gucci. Okay, cool. Ashes. As is kind of a familiar pattern with you here lately, you wake up tired. You've been having bad dreams. You've been having nightmares. And I mean, you push through. It is what it is, but it's been like a couple nights of bad sleep here lately, and not exactly pleasant. It feels odd in your core. It feels like, you're not quite put together.
Was he ever?
Everyone gains the benefits of a long rest. Woo!
Really?
But I still have bags under my eyes.
So regain your hit points, regain spells, regain special abilities, and it cycles over into dawn on the 26th. Hammer 26th dawn. Which, by the way, before Catsup and his cavalry, her cavalry, head off to do their patrolling. Catsup kind of makes this big show of being all healed up. Catsup, if you recall, had been wounded pretty viciously in the battle.
Yes. Hit point
And
maximum reduced by 9.
that has been healed.
Which I imagine is quite a bit for a goblin.
Well,
Nice.
the
Eating right,
wound
working
has
out.
recovered. And now it is the morning of the 26th, and you all are free to do whatever the fuck it is y'all want to do. So what do you want to do?
The Dwemer Core!
Okay.
The Dwemer.
How are you getting where you're going?
So
Walking!
what I envision is that, like, all right, picture it's like a show, right? It fades out, it fades in, and we're there.
Okay.
Yep, I think so too.
Sounds like fast travel to me, y'all. So,
We travel swiftly.
So
I don't
we
know
don't
why it does
have
that every
like
single time.
I was about to say we don't have any portals that go from like there's no point really.
We have a lot of portals, we just don't know where they go. You want to take
Um,
one of them?
I mean we could I
mean,
don't think we
you-
have a 6 to 8, do we?
We don't know that we
absolutely.
don't.
We Hold on,
Oh,
going to
no.
bed.
Oh, yeah,
we
no, we
need
have one of
to.
those. Actually, I even know where it is. We got one of those.
Yeah, you specifically
Oh,
have a
absolutely.
portal 6 to 8.
The female dwarf portal
Yeah.
that goes from
Yeah,
6
yeah,
to
yeah.
8.
With the stone cord, stone key.
But the thing is, like, that's a discovered one, so we wouldn't be gaining any new portal information.
Is that the determining factor now?
I think I just determined that's a factor to me now.
Fair enough. I mean, you got to figure out how the portal or where all the portals go somehow, right? I mean, I guess technically you don't have to, but where's the
Yeah.
fun in that? Okay, are you guys portaling or are you walking? What's the plan?
I'm less excited about taking a portal now.
I think we
think
just
just
walk,
walk.
but
Yeah, let's just go.
it doesn't seem like it's going to
for it.
save a ton of time.
You guys
So risk
walk.
someone getting attacked by the shadow underneath the mountain. Wait, what was the? Oh God, I didn't write it down.
That is an encounter. So
Yes.
I
You're
need
encountering.
Oh, hey, before we leave, guys, I have that ring of warmth that I'm not gonna be able to attune to anymore. If any of y'all are interested in it.
I'm all attuned up. I
I
appreciate
think
the offer.
I'm also attuned up.
Okay, I'll just keep it for now then. Unless
too.
Jake wants it.
He's tuned up.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
I think I'm already resistant.
You're also, yeah, you are. Unless we're gaining attunement slots.
Zach.
What? I don't think
The
Jeremy's thought about
eyes.
it. I don't think Jeremy's thought about it since we had the discussion.
No, I actually have thought about it, but I haven't decided whether or not I'm implementing it or not. I think I'm
yeah,
saving my
that's fair.
decision on whether or not I'm implementing it for like next level for you guys, because I think next level you guys proficiency up, right? So I'm gonna try to decide between
Sure.
now and then, I believe.
Makes sense.
So, anyways, as you all are heading into
13. Yeah, we do proficiency at next level. I don't think that's too far off.
no, not super far off, I don't think.
Isn't it like 125? Or is it 140? 13, 120.
125.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 120. We're close.
Okay.
Close adjacent.
Close adjacent. Yeah, that's how I would describe it, actually.
Okay, I need someone to roll me a 1d4.
Hey, before we leave, I make sure. Where the hell is Mossy? Mossy!
Oh,
24.
sorry.
Make sure he's
One.
with the.
yeah, no, Mossy pops up as soon as you
Okay.
guys make it into the lost levels.
All right, I just wanted to make sure he's with me.
Yep.
Critical
Let
failure.
me go. Critical failure on a 1d4. You have a 25% chance. That's a shitty failure rate.
Yeah, but that's also an amazing success rate.
I mean, I guess so.
You gotta succeed for it to be a good success rate.
Also
Okay, please someone roll me a 1d3.
true. I got it. Slash roll. 1d. Oh, that's a 12. 1d3. I typed it.
1d3. Okay, a 1. All right.
Yeah, critical failure.
And we get another one.
I need someone to roll me a 1d2.
50%.
Jake, get it.
50%.
Oh, you Mitch.
50%.
Don't touch.
Fine.
Touch him, Odie.
Roll D2.
Touch him with your weird hands.
Come on.
Ah, critical success.
Damn.
You've let us down.
You guys,
I let myself down, honestly.
as you are trying to make your way through the lands of the Stone Men,
Make my way.
making your way,
Making away.
you do not get very far before you find yourself accosted. Accosted? Kind of accosted. Accosted by oh, wrong person. Accosted by a giant. Kurok.
Gigante.
Which one's Kurok? Is Kurok the nice one, or is Kurok the mean one?
Kurok's the
None of
elder
them are nice
asshole
anymore.
son.
None of them
jerk.
are nice anymore.
The jerk who hangs out in the pit?
Yes. The jerk who hangs out in the pit. In a moment, I gotta fix the crashing. Okay. Crashing fixed? People move. You're all like, you were all like just holding position there for a second.
I moved. Was my
Okay.
moving helpful?
Yeah, your moving is helpful. It let me know that I'm not frozen. Okay, so as you guys are trying to navigate through the land of the stone men. Your presence is detected by one of the stone giants. What the fuck do you want to do?
Well, first of all, we don't speak their language. Can't understand their language.
Wait,
And
Matt,
trying to
negotiate
talk
with
to them
him.
telepathically makes them freak the fuck out. So
Yeah, okay. Talk to him telepathically, but move your mouth while you're doing it.
How about we just run?
It's gonna look like shitty dubs.
Fine, if you don't want to have fun, sure, we're gonna run.
Hello.
Look, I already
giant.
feel bad that I haven't come back and tried to fix this yet, so I just kind of want to ignore it until I have to do something about it.
Okay.
Goodbye.
What's the forced scenario on making you do something about it?
I don't know, because then you're gonna use it.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm not going
that's
to use
metagaming.
anything. I'm just interested. Okay. You guys see Kurok. Kurok sees you. The stone giant garbles out, yells out, right? Like has a club, is very menacing. And you guys decide to book it. Mossy immediately just goes, right? Like in response to you guys running, Mossy just goes into the ground, right? Like he'll catch up. Type of
Classic Mossy.
scenario. But he doesn't
He's
travel.
such a problem solver.
He doesn't run as fast as you guys, so he's kind of like, well, I guess I'll see you in a bit,
If I can't outrun them, I just won't.
So, that being said, I think let's do this pretty simply. Everyone, unless you're using some special capability or like a spell or something like that, everyone just roll me an acrobatics check or an athletics check to outrun this giant. Right? One or the other. Or if you want to use a special ability or a particular like spell or something like that, let me know and we'll go from there.
Is me just dashing not enough?
Not necessarily, right? Because
Okay.
so the situation isn't just outrunning this giant because he's yelling, other giants are going to be involved, right? So this is now turned into kind of like a little chase sequence. I just need to see if anyone fails and whether or not it's going to be more of a chase sequence than it already is.
Crush that. I have initiated my acrobatics.
Okay. As you guys just begin to sprint away from this giant, he does pursue, he does yell loudly, and you do hear the return yells of the other giants. And the other giants are to the northeast of you and kind of ahead of the direction that you need to go. Ashes, maybe due to how tired he has been, is starting to flag, starts to kind of like fall behind the pace of the rest of the group. Is anyone gonna do anything to fix that or better the situation? Ashes, can you do anything to fix that or better the situation? What's happening?
Yeah, technically I could.
I got an idea.
I could just transform and I become way more athletic.
No, don't watch that. I got you. I hang back because I'm fast as hell, boy.
Okay.
Take my hand.
I reach in and I start grasping a Torbit flashbang, and I get ready.
Oh, okay.
You gonna bang?
If anybody gets close to us or corners us, boom, flashbang.
So you guys, you make it, I'll say, you make it up to...
I've got toys too.
You make it up to the crystal room, right? And it is there where actually, right, like the majority of you are ahead. Bones, you're kind of like waiting here. Everyone else is kind of ahead. And Ashes has fallen a little bit behind. And you see Gravelock coming down from the north. And it's
flashbang.
It's pretty clear he's gonna intersect Ashes, so you flashbang his ass.
Flashbang him right in his face. Boom, sniper,
Fucking
flashbang.
Kurok is behind Ashes. You flashbang Gravelock. So, okay, what are you gonna do?
I would like to take a seed of growth
Ooh!
and toss it in this like tiny gap. This like
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
What the hell's a seed
So-
of growth?
seed of growth. All copy. paste
So
on
I'm gonna say
copy.
Matashtai and Ezra are out of this if they so choose, right?
Yes.
It seems like they've got it under control. I'm just gonna keep on moving.
Ashes. So Ashes, you're gonna throw the seed of growth here to try to
Yep,
cut off Kurok.
Right, right
Okay.
there in the dead center.
Okay. He is keeping pace with you, but he's not gaining on you necessarily. When he runs into this seed of growth, he is going to make a strength saving throw. He's a +6. It has to be to 15.
Yeah. All right, that's doable. That's doable.
9 or better.
Damn it.
Oh, I like to think in this particular situation,
It's a
like
juggernaut.
you throw the seed down, and the seed like hits the ground, and it begins to kind of like sprout, and Kurok's foot just goes go down onto the seed, crushing it to like dust before it ever even really gets a chance to like blossom and sprout into the bush. But Gravelog gets
This book
flashbanged,
nature.
right?
Flashbang.
Ashes is rushing through. Kurok is behind him, ignoring his dad's plight. I need Ashes to roll me another athletics check to see if he is gonna make it out of here safely. DC, by the way, was 15. That's why everyone else made it, but Ashes failed. And Ashes, you were able to, on the back of that one, you're like, oh god, he's strong! Pick up the pace! Oh shit! Oh! Okay, so you guys are able to outrun the giants through their territory. Poor fucking Gravelog just got flashbanged. My god. Holy shit.
Not gonna see right for a while.
Okay.
What he gets.
Um,
Running an intercept course.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair,
Maybe
I
he'll
suppose.
learn his place.
He'll learn his place to
Learn
not
his
defend
place.
his family.
Nobody was getting attacked.
Well, they didn't know that. He didn't know that. Okay, you guys make it down to the Slough Swamp. Any plans for this stage? You have uncovered basically the entirety of this.
Ooh, I'm on here twice.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Are you guys down in the bottom right as well?
We're still in the
Yeah.
Wait. Where you be?
I'm down in
Do
the
you
Naga.
guys
Cha-
have anything you
cha.
want to do in the Slither Swamp before we move down?
I just feel like part of my soul was just removed.
It was.
You'll be fine.
I'm good.
Take
I'm
it
good
off.
to just head down.
Was
Unless
there
y'all wanna
anything
stop.
we needed to? Did we say we're gonna like bring them anything or anything? I don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't recall that we were going to do that.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then I think there's no reason to pick up
Okay.
communications.
You guys make your way through.
Make my way.
Making his way.
Through the Slither Swamp, back towards the territory where Karstus had resided. And I'm gonna roll this beautiful bean footage again.
Beautiful bine footage.
You guys actually make your way through the Slither Swamp unaccosted. So, all right, sounds like a plan. You get back to that room, right, to the southeast of the kind of like ghost island, the place that has the cloud kill spell kind of protecting it, right? Mossy isn't actually here. I just have him on the map because.
Yeah, he'll catch up.
But he's already caught up. He's with you guys. He's just not walking through the water. So he's under the ground right now. So anybody remember the password?
I do. I don't.
Fucking Manchun's mother or some shit.
Not that password. The other password.
For the. Wait, he's still here?
Manchun lost.
Not that password. The other
he's talking
password.
about Karstus's.
The cloud.
Oh.
The cloud kill password.
No, because I just walked through that last time.
Yeah, Matashtai just doesn't give a shit.
Silver Fox.
Ezra has fucking perfect.
Ezra's
recall or
got
some
it.
Shit.
He doesn't have perfect recall. He just takes good notes. Well, decently good notes most of the time. Okay. Ezra pops off with the passphrase. The cloud kill is deactivated for the moment, and you guys are able to head southward for the first time. And as was kind of described to you, I'll just kind of give you guys a little tour. As was described to you by Karstus, right? There's this little circular thing going on down here, but it doesn't actually lead anywhere. So
Weird.
it just leads right back to the spot. And then the tunnel begins to wind southward. So, oh my. Okay, I will say this. I'm gonna ask real quick. We did get started late. Does anyone need to take a break? Actually, let's just take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back real quick, 5-minute break, and then we will take our first steps into Dwemercore and see what happens. So we'll see you all in just a few. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.